Hey guys, welcome to another unhaul. I have a lot of books to get rid of today. Big old pile over here, so we're just going to jump right in. First stack, I have a lot of Star Wars books. So I do collect and read a ton of Star Wars, especially when I was younger. I haven't read any recently. These are all books that I have duplicates of, so I know I've mentioned before I'm not crazy about the mass market paperback, the really small square ones. That's kind of a recent thing though, because in middle school, high school, I had a ton of those books. I did end up buying pretty much all my Star Wars books that way. So I've got a lot of just hardcover Star Wars that I already have in the mass paperback. I can't keep both of them, even though I'd love to have like all my Star Wars, like really nice big hardcover. I don't have enough room on my shelves for it. So I'm going to be getting rid of this pile. So we've got Planet of that light. I hate that light. Planet of Twilight. Heir to the Empire. This is the New Jedi Order, the Unifying Force. Spectre of the Past, Visions of the Future, The Crystal Star, and The New Rebellion. I've read, I believe, all of those books as well. So what else do we have? We've got a few more duplicates. I've got Bringing Up the Bodies. I do have 2 of these, as well as Fresh Complaint, singular, Fresh Complaint, which is really cool cover. It feels really nice. I do have 2. Let's move on. We the Living. This is an Anne Rice. I do want to read Anne Rice, but I'm looking more at Atlas Shrugged. Not necessarily because I want to read that book, but because I feel like I should at least attempt to read it once. This one, We the Living, I haven't really heard a lot about, so it can go. Next, we have Fair Shot, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. I'm not sure if I have another copy of this one. I'm not crazy about this. Oop. Something inside. About this one. The front. It's kind of an ugly, not ugly. It's just like there's nothing really special about the copy. I wish there doesn't necessarily need to be. This one, I think I started reading. I haven't finished this. I'm not in a rush to read it anytime soon, so that can go. And we also have Between Shades of Grey. I've had this, I think, for a while. Oh, this is set in Lithuania. So Lithuania, I only know about because of Hannibal. The TV show, because that's where he's from, but no, I've had this one for a while. I haven't made any attempt to read it, so that's going to go. Next, we have Warrior of the Light. This is a Paulo Coelho, I think that's how you say his name. I recently read The Alchemist. I just did not like it at all. This seems a lot more of like a self-help book, which I'm not really looking for in this format, so this can go. The Midnight Cafe. This is actually 3 books in one. For my March reads, I did read the first book in the series. I'm gonna have that video out hopefully soon. Spoiler alert, I wasn't crazy about it. I'm not gonna continue with the series, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. And then we also have The Destruction of the Books. Don't know. The Trader's Game. This is a, I think, YA fantasy. I can't remember what it's about. It can go. What the Dog Saw. I think this is actually a pretty recent purchase, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna read it. The Light Between Oceans. Did I mean to get rid of this? Because I've heard really good things about this one. I have not read it. I might put this one to the side. I'm not sure if I meant to put that in there. Common People. This is more of a nonfiction. I really have to like the subject or the person or something about a nonfiction book, just because I don't typically go for those at all. And I think this is nonfiction. What's it about? I don't know. I'm not going to read it though. So Much a Part of You. We've got 2 Patricia Briggs. We've got Storm Cursed as well as Fire Touched. I do want to read, I want to make an attempt to read this series. However, these are like book 15 and 16 or something like that. These are well into the series. I haven't even read book 1. I'm not crazy about a lot of urban fantasy that I've read, but I've heard good things about this author, so I figure I'll give it a chance, but I don't need these 2 books sitting on my shelf when I haven't even started book 1. Oh, another Anne Rind book, Anthem. Didn't know I had it in there, but that's okay. It can go. Nemesis. This is one of the books where I have put this, when I'm going through my shelves and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what books can I get rid of? What books am I not going to read? I've picked this one up so many times and I keep putting it back because I'll start to read like the first few paragraphs and it looks really good, and then I haven't started it. Even though I keep putting it back, even though I keep saying, oh, this looks really good, this looks interesting, I still don't read it. So it's painful, but it can go. We have The Odds, really pretty cool, like, feeling book. However, this is incredibly petty, but this is like one of those sticky, horrible, can't get off tags. And if I was like in love with the book, then I obviously, like, that wouldn't bother me, but I haven't even read this one. So I do have a few other books by this author that I do physically have, so I am going to try them though. We've got Tina Fey. This is also a pretty recent purchase. However, I don't read a lot of biographies. I like Tina Fey a lot, but I don't think I'm going to read it. Next, I'm going to kind of put these all as a group. I've got a lot of Conan the Barbarian. Why did I buy all these? Please don't ask me, but I kind of love, like, oh my, hold on. Like, look at the old creepy snake. There's like dragons, lots of snakes. Yeah, I've got a ton of those. I don't think I'm gonna read them though, at least no time soon. Yeah, so it can go. These were like 25 cents originally, like on the cover, some of them. Oh no, this one was actually like a few bucks. Interesting. It doesn't matter, they're still going. Next, we've got Ape House. I did read this author's Water for Elephants. I loved that book. However, monkeys and apes and stuff kind of creep me out. They're too similar to humans. I don't like them. They just weird me out. I don't want to read a book about them. I know that's weird. We've got The Art of War, which is a really cool copy. I'd love to keep this, but it could very well be years before I try to read this. So, The Winchester's Journal. I was really into Supernatural a few years ago. I still really like it. I still have not finished the series. I think I've only gotten to like season 8 or 9. But let's be realistic. I'm not going to read this. When You Are Engulfed in Flames. This is another David Sedaris. I always call him Dave. Then we've got another series here. This is Sasha, the Sasha series. I don't really want to get rid of these because it feels like it's almost Alana for adults. the Alana series by Tamara Pierce, which I loved as a child. I did start reading the first one, and it wasn't at all bad, but I have so many fantasy books that I really want to get into. I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't have the room. Like, if I had a whole house to myself, I would stuff it with books. But I've got an apartment, and I've got way too many bookshelves in my apartment, and I don't have room for them all. This is Back Before Dark. I think this is a book in a series. I don't know, but it's going. Daughter of Fortune. I've had this book for so long. I still haven't read it, so it can go. A Plague of Boggles. I read something else by this author. This is just too young for me. I think this is a middle grade, which they can be enjoyable reads still, but I would much rather fill my shelf with something else if I'm not really into that book. I haven't tried this, so it can go. We also have a Robin Hobb. This is book 3 of a series that I have not read the first book in. Oh, we still got more. Goodness gracious. Oh, these are heavy. So these are kind of some odd books. I've got Outnumbered. This is a book on like battle strategy. I bought this when I was working on a book. And there were a lot of battles in the book, so I was like, let me look through history and see like what are some cool sieges or something like that. So I've had this for a long time. A few art books. This is Graphic Artists Guild's Directory of Illustration. I really like art books, but these are so big, so heavy. The History of Art. I also really like that one, but History of the Movies. And then I've got a few cookbooks. 500 Cupcakes. I don't know why I'm including these in there, but they're all going. So they're all going in the same bag. The Essential Christmas Cookbook. I feel kind of bad, but I mean, the internet has made cookbooks kind of obsolete. I mean, I'm not obsolete, but kind of. I do have a few adult coloring books. I bought some of these. I used it a bit. I just never really got into it all that much. I think I'm keeping 1 or 2, and I'm going to get rid of the rest. And then, I don't know if you'd categorize this as a book. This is Lord of the Rings Jigsaw. It's a jigsaw book, which I would love to keep, but again, it's really big. It takes up too much room. I have a lot of Lord of the Rings books. I'm obsessed with the movies. I probably watched them, gosh, hundreds of times when I was in like high school and college. I pretty much had them memorized. So anything Lord of the Rings, I was always looking out for. But it's reached the point where I need to take a long, hard look and see like what things you actually want. So that one can go. We've still got more. Oh my goodness. So these are some Madeleine L'Engle. I'm gonna look up her last name eventually. This is A Swiftly Tilting Planet and Many Waters. I have read these. I do like these a lot. I have more copies of these. They're older and smaller, but I like collecting some of the old, kind of more original ones. These aren't that like special or rare editions, so these can go. Beowulf. I do have another copy of Beowulf that's much nicer, and it hasn't been highlighted and marked, so I'm going to keep that one and get rid of this one. Another series. This is the Deathgate Cycle. We've got 1, 2, and 3. I think I'm going to give these to a friend who's really into this series. He likes it a lot, and he's in my book club, so I'll probably see if he wants those. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This is the 50th year edition, something like that. It is the full color edition, which is really cool, but again, I've got this whole series. I don't need multiple copies of that one. Harry Potter and the Chambers of Secrets. I am not getting rid of my Harry Potter books. I still have both the soft covers and the hard covers. This one I was keeping for a while just because it didn't have a 1 at the end. This is the first book and most of them have a 1. This one didn't, and I was like, oh, maybe it's worth something, which I doubt very highly. So Moby Dick. This is a big edition. I love that. It's like really floppy, but it's too big. It takes up too much room. Same thing with this War and Peace. Like, I'm torn because I feel like this would be so nice to read and highlight, but at the same time, I could fit like 3 books on the shelf in place of this one. Yeah. Okay, last tiny little pile. Peter and the Secrets of Rundon? Don't know. This is not the first book in the series. I think this is a bit too young. Again, this is like YA, middle grade, something like that. So that can go. The Prince Warriors and the Unseen Invasion. This is the second book in a series. Haven't read the first. And The Touch. This is, I believe, a historical fiction. I did want to read this, but I have a lot of other historical fictions I want to read a lot more. That ambulance is going somewhere, that fire truck. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So we got rid of quite a few books. I'm glad these need to go so I can get other ones on my shelves that I am more excited about. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I should have my March reads up soon because I did just finish the last book. I'm a little bit behind, but I will try to upload that soon, and I will see you guys then. Have a good one. Bye.